Hey guys, my name's Ant, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Dragon Age level Entropy's Grasp. I'll go through where you can find the items, chests, and lore pieces, the progression puzzles, and some tips for the enemies and bosses. So hopefully you'll find this helpful. Let's go. First off, you're going to be able to find a lot of truffles in this level, which is always good for cash. And the first one is off to the right, straight after you start. Next up, we have our first fight with the enchanted armors, and these guys aren't too bad. Avoid the overhead attacks and attempt to parry the others. They can hit pretty hard, so try to avoid where you can. They can get staggered when you use your heavy attack, so try to time that well with their heavy attack to do like an interrupt. After walking over the log, grab our next truffle right in front before taking a look around the water's edge behind you to snag a chest piece. Further along the road, you'll find some heartwood and then another log to cross. Over the log, head left for a hidden chest and then venture down through the water and across to the bridge. Under the bridge, you'll see the water vortex. Head up towards that, and then just right of that, there is a ladder with a few bits and bobs, including some lore, both upstairs and downstairs. Coming back along the other side of the bridge this time, there is a flawless crystal to the right and then a piece of leather right at the top of that. You can keep going further into this area, and at the top of the stair area is a carved bear, and then we are on to our next fight. The wraiths in this area can be tough if you let them group up, so try to use your companions to hit a specific one and target the other. After moving into the hall, you will find some gold past the first potion. More gold to the left of the chest in the middle, and then the chest itself. Do be mindful though, this chest is trapped and you'll get a little bit of poison damage, but it doesn't do that much damage at the end of the day. After exiting this area and going down the stairs, there is a secret passageway to the right if you break the barrels in the barricade. Inside there is a flawless crystal. Next, we have our energy crystal puzzle, which is a simple switch of the crystals, and then our next wraith fight. Use the same strategies as before and you'll be just fine. In the second phase of this fight, try to deal with the ranged enemies first, as then you can focus on the melee enemies easier. In the top area after the fight, you can find some truffles laying around and a veil crystal. Now we can move upwards towards this ledge for another chest. Continuing along the path, you will find this strange broken structure which has some heartwood in front of it. Then we can move around to this pathway to the back of it, where you'll find a strange crow and some green butterflies. But there is also a lore scroll and some gold on the ground. Lastly, before moving on, keep your eyes out for the truffles on the left-hand side as we walk back to the main area. The Sentinel construct attacks from the side for wide hits that can be parried, or from above the head and down for heavy hits that can be dodged. These can't be parried. Take your time with the hits, make sure not to get too greedy, and you'll be able to get rid of him with ease. Moving on to the next puzzle, before we take the crystal, head into the room for a flawless crystal and some gold, and now you can take this crystal and use it to open the next door. Straight ahead through the door is our next main chest. Now the room with the 4 constructs can be difficult, but to be fair, only 2 attack at a time, so it's not too bad. Don't get too worried about this one. As before with multiple enemies, either try to get your companions to focus one, maybe with a combo, as you focus the other, or altogether focus one to take it out quickly before working on the others. Reminder that Balara has a healing ability if you do need it. Unfortunately, there is no treasure in this room, but the constructs may drop some items, so just be wary of that. At the top of this hill, there is another item in front of the cart, and then another on the left across the water. Now the Darkspawn in this area are pretty simple. Don't stress about getting the parry on them, as when there are multiple, it's really hard to pull off. Just take your time, use area abilities or combos that deal damage to multiple of them, and slowly walk through them. Behind the barrels on the left is another flawless crystal, and then further along is the entrance to underneath the bridge for another crystal and a chest. Next up is Balara's skill test. We're going to fight some more Darkspawn here. Once again, take your time. Don't worry about the parry. Just work on them slowly. And after this, we can head up the stairs and into the room to the left for some gold, and then back across to the right for another item. Use the catapult in the middle of the area here to break open the wall and either continue shooting down the Darkspawn with it, or you can fight them hand by hand. I found that they spawn from both the left and the right, so they may climb up from the cliff on the left, or they may come through the door or along the top of the arch there and down. So just keep your eyes open. Now we have another Balara skill test and some more Guardians. Try to fight them one-on-one and utilize the companions' attacks and combos. And remember, the top-down attack is dodgeable, not parryable, and the side attack is parryable. The next lot of treasures is as we walk into the blighted area of the next bridge. Look to the left, you'll see an area you can jump down onto. Here you can find some gold before climbing back up onto the stairs and heading to the left again. Destroy the barricade and follow this around for a lore scroll. Now head out to the cliff, drop the beam, and we can walk over and get another 2 flawless crystals. Back in the main room amongst the barrels in this area is some gold, and we can move on. Before we continue on, don't miss this gold as Balara talks about the archive spirit. You're going to want to look up to see where she's talking about, but there's a little bit of gold there. Next up is a named construct. He's a little bit beefier and a little bit tougher, but very much similar to the others. Top down is dodgeable, once again not parryable, and the side swing is parryable. When the ranged wraiths summon in, deal with them quickly, don't get overwhelmed, and get your companions to attack the named construct while you're doing this. The wraiths on the edge can be hit with a heavy attack to try and knock them off the cliff, and it'll save you so much worry. Take it slow, wear him down, you'll be fine. Remember Balara's healing, and grab the chest after you beat him.
Looks like this door is going to need a second power crystal.
Then let's go find it.
Our next puzzle is another crystal and catapult puzzle. So take the crystal by the main door and place it by the side door. And you can climb up around, destroy the blight on the catapult here, and use the catapult to hit the wall to the left of the door. Keep firing to get rid of those guardians. You don't need to fight them hand to hand. And now head through that break in the wall for an item and the second energy crystal. You can take that crystal, place it back to the main door with the other crystal, and you can move through.
We did it. All that's going to
Walking into this room, we have a chest to the left that is easy to miss. And then further into the hallway, there's 2 more items by the potion pot before we move on to our last challenge. Now the ogre. For the ogre, he has a similar hit pattern as the constructs. Top down is dodgeable, side to side is parryable. He usually hits in successions of 3, so be aware of that. When he hits down, he's going to hit down again straight away, so keep that dodge ready. When he does get parried, he kneels down briefly. It's almost like a stagger, so do take advantage of this and deal as much damage as you possibly can. If you are too far away from him, he will do a jumping attack that will hit an area, so be wary of this if you're shooting from range. Take it slow, avoid the big attacks, and try to utilize the companions, and you'll be good. Once again, I know I've said it a few times, but it is so handy in this fight. Remember, Balara's healing. Once you've finished this fight, don't forget to grab the chest at the back before leaving the level, and you're all done. Well, hopefully this has helped you get through Entropy's Grasp. And if I missed any items or secrets, please do let me know. Anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time, enjoy your gaming.